calling you about my daughter.
Okay.
She's 30. We also have 3 sons who are, I don't know, between 35 and 45. So we're old enough to retire, but we're not yet because we're just having too much fun working. We homeschooled our kids. We raised them in the church. They went to public university. Probably when she was about 22, 3, 4, in that she started just being too busy to talk. Couldn't talk. She does not communicate except by text. Can't call either of our younger 2 kids on the phone. That's just not right. It got further and further away. And then last fall, she broke up with us with a text. She sent us a text saying she wanted to go no contact, that she didn't want to discuss why. And she would let us know when she was ready to talk to us again. So I'm kind of just stuck out here going, well, what's next for me?
So let's acknowledge like that, regardless of what went on, what's going on, what's up, what's down, that's just hard.
Yeah.
I can't think of I'm again, my kids aren't 30, but I can't think of a worse situation.
Well, and I grew up in a world where, of course, I wanted to cut my parents off. Sometimes they were really stupid.
Yeah.
But I would never, ever. You just don't.
Yeah. Except they did.
Yep.
So anytime I have a challenge like this, I always go back to what my buddy Jordan Bunch taught me one time, which is anytime I have some sort of relational challenge, I always want to start in one place and one place only, the mirror.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So if you back out, the data says that you just told me you've got 4 kids, 3 of them refuse to speak to you.
No, 1.
No, but I mean, the other ones just text you?
2 will talk on the phone.
Okay.
1 does text.
Okay.
But we're not in the same town.
Yep.
So there's that factor too.
So at some point it's like, okay, so I'm the common denominator here, and I raise these kids. If you're being fully honest with yourself, not trying to defend yourself, but being fully honest with you and your husband, what's the challenges that they're putting on the table? Why are they cutting off contact, or why are they limiting contact so much with you?
I'm telling you, she won't say.
Now, I know, but you've got an inkling, or your other siblings will pitch something out every once in a while, or they'll tell you why they only want to text, or why they're busy. All right, let me say it this way: you're too smart. I can already tell you're too smart to just be like, I don't know. Like you have some inkling. I
am trying to figure that out.
Okay,
that's part of what's going on here. The oldest 2 say, "This is nuts. This is not right."
Okay.
The third one says, boggled. And I have asked her, in fact, in her late teens, early 20s, she was in therapy. Mm-hmm. I was too, not because of each other. It was for separate issues, but because we were in a small town and it was convenient, we used the same therapist.
Okay.
He did a stupid therapist thing one day and started talking to me, dealing with something she was dealing with.
That's not a stupid therapist thing. That is a highly unethical, should be unlicensed and not be able to sit with people.
And I went blank and I just looked at him because I knew it was happening. And he said, "Oh my God, I just did it. And I shouldn't have." He acknowledged it and he went on, but he did tell me, again, unethical, there's 2 things you need to talk to your daughter about. You need to figure these 2 things out. And she and I talked about 1. 4 times since then, and she was, like I said, maybe 20 at the most. 4 times I have said, "Can we talk about the other thing?" But that I don't know what it is. And I've told her that. And she says, "No, you don't know what it is." And she'll say, "No, I'm not ready." And then Christmas a year ago, she said, "I will never be ready to talk to you about that." So I suspect it's that, but I've racked my brains. She tells me I need to do some self-reflection. My best friend says I'm the queen of self-reflection. So I'm trying to figure out. I'm really trying to figure out. Now, the when I go to the boards or when I go to websites and I go try to find out more about this phenomenon, the consensus is, you're just not acknowledging. And I'm being honest. Yeah. I want to acknowledge. I don't know.
Well, okay, so let's just flip the data around because I misheard you at the beginning. If you have 4 kids and 3 of them talk to you somewhat regularly, y'all live in separate towns, so y'all aren't like buddy-buddy, but y'all talk, you text, you show up for holidays, and then you have one outlier.
Right.
then what I would suggest is trying to figure out intellectually what's going on is futile. You don't know because you've got somebody
Right.
it sounds like the limited power she feels like she has is a thing you don't know. And you took care of
Absolutely.
her raising, you took care of her morals, you took care of her school, and that can be flipped to you didn't let me be around real people, you didn't let me have my own ideas, you didn't let me have my own life, and then I got to out in the real world. And this is one of the challenges I think with that we have this whole homeschool movement now, and I don't have a problem with it. It's fine, but it's going to come at a cost, and I know that because I've worked with thousands of college students for 20 years. They are overwhelmed with the new ideas, new world, and you can send them to a college of your choice that just regurgitates what you taught them, which I think is a terrible idea. But then they're gonna get to the real world where there's no filter anymore, right?
Right.
But
And I suspect there's some of that.
okay.
We did try.
Sure. And it's not an indictment of you, but I'm saying like that can be flipped from, dude, my parents really tried to shield me from all of this. And I found myself
try to shield their kids from some horrible thing.
Well, of course. But I'm just saying, like, it can be a 25-year-old can say, dude, my parents did the best they could with what they got, with what they had, and they tried to protect me from madness. And I wish they had given me some more skills, but here we are. Or they can completely demonize you. And any of the discomfort they have in their life, which all 25-year-olds have, you become an easy target.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Trying to figure this out intellectually is a waste of your time. Because I'm trusting you that you have actually looked in the mirror and tried to figure it out. And that there's not, I'm going to rattle a couple of things off. Okay, this is more for the audience than for you. But if you can honestly say you do not know of a weird uncle or a strange encounter with her dad, whether that's your husband or a stepdad or something, if you can honestly say, I don't know anything about that. Honestly say, I didn't invite somebody over who had a strange kid who put her in awkward positions. If you can honestly say, we walked through, I taught you about sex, I taught you about some of these harder, bigger issues, we had conversations. If you can honestly walk through and say, I don't know any of that stuff, those are those are often the big cutoff points. Like, mom and dad, you didn't protect me. And then after that, who knows what adventure she's on. And I think you have to let yourself get out from behind your intellectual shield and just be really, really sad. I miss my baby girl.
Okay. My husband's been encouraging me to do that for a while. And when she cut off last fall, he said, there you go. There's nothing we can do. And
I will disagree with him on one thing.
Okay.
I'll disagree with him on one thing.
And that is?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the right way to say it.
Well, you could say it the wrong way and walk it back.
I could, yeah. So there's a fine line for me between, well, I'll paint a big, huge picture here. She's asked you not to call her or text her. She's asked for no contact. And I want to honor that.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
and I have been.
I know, but also, I'm talking myself into. I'm thinking myself into circles here. So I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do what you said. I'm gonna speak this out, and then I may walk it back. Often, young people, and I'd say 30 and younger, maybe even older, trying to heal a broken relationship with a parent in their life or with an adult figure, will put down these big gauntlets. And some of it is very real, especially in abusive situations, especially when there is abuse, when there has been neglect, when there's been some catastrophic stuff. And in your situation, I'm trusting that is completely off the table. That didn't happen. So the next layer is, I want to see if you'll come get me. And so I'm imagining my kids right now, if one of them said, I'm going no contact, please don't call me, don't text me, mm-hmm. I'm not coming don't invite me to Christmas or whatever. I hear that. And I might send you a letter once a week or once a month and just says, just so you know, I love you. And you're welcome home at any time. And I can see even where that might be run into legal issues it would be considered harassment if somebody said, I've given you clear, do not contact me, not touch me. Don't come after me. But there's going to come a moment when something happens in your kid's life and they open their eyes real wide and they want their mom and their dad, and they're going to think, I burned the bridge to the ground to get back home. And I want there to be a breadcrumb back to my house. And so I guess, I don't know. I've just sat with too many 25-year-olds who say, I can't go home. And I want to tell them, I bet you can. So maybe that's it, Luann. If I knew as a parent I was physically abusive, I knew what I thought to be spanking was, I went overboard. If I knew that there was physical abuse, if I knew I dragged a kid to a church for 15 years and didn't know they were being molested by someone, like if there was some major catastrophic trauma and they said I need to go no contact, I would actually honor that.
And I could understand that, yeah.
If there is a young person who is some sort of ideological temper tantrum, who has created a story and they're just going on and on and on, you're 30, you're 25, I can't do anything about it. But I might send you a postcard. Not postcards sound kind of cheesy. I might send you a letter. I want you to open it. And by the way, you can throw the letter away every week. You're a grown up. You can throw it away. You can put it in the shredder. You can send me a legal document or you can send me a text message. I continue to receive your letters. Do not send me another letter again. Okay, I would honor that. My guess is in this situation, she wouldn't do that. What she might not want to respond to is the text message says, hi, how are you? Or thinking about you, because she might have come up with a story that you're manipulative. And that any sort of contact like that is manipulative. But there's something about a letter that somebody can open and they can hold and they can see it and they can go back to it and it begins to punch a hole in their story. Or she might show it.
I would love to be able to do that, but when she went contact, she moved.
Okay.
I have no idea where she is.
Okay. Or maybe you write a letter and you keep it in your house, and one day if you reconcile, you hand her the whole box.
Okay. I have been doing that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. You hand her the whole box and say, I want you to know I didn't know how to get a hold of you, but I never stopped looking for you. And by the way, these days, it takes about 8 minutes to find somebody.
Okay.
I mean, through social media, through an old friend. I mean, it's not hard. It's not hard. So, yeah, I would go for that. I'd go after it, and I don't know. It's hard. I'm heartbroken for you. And I would probably try to reach out to my older kids one more time.
We talk most weeks.
Yeah.
So.
And they honestly can look at you and say, Mom, we have no idea.
They have.
Has she cut them off too?
I don't think so.
I
don't ask them. I don't want to sound like I'm trying to get information from them.
I know, but Luann, they have to know.
Okay. I'll ask.
Don't you think?
I would think so, but I also don't. I could see her saying, she's trying to get information from you, huh? I worry that would.
But here's the thing. Yes, I miss my daughter. I'll try to get information from everybody. And I would tell my older kids, hey, I'm putting you in an awkward position. If you know anything that I've done, that I missed, please help me. I'm drowning here.
Mm-hmm. I do feel like, though, that the culture, the atmosphere around this phenomenon is saying you don't have the right to miss your child.
Well, that's insanity. And
they have made an adult's decision, and you're just going to have to accept it.
Well, I'm going to make an adult decision and let my kid know I'll storm the gates of hell to come get you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know too many people in their 40s and 50s that don't have a relationship with their 70 or 80-year-old parents, and it's killing them. It's killing them.
That's what we did talk about that at one point in time. I said, I just feel like someday I'm going to be gone, and you're going to think, oh my gosh.
That's the wrong way to say it. That's you trying to exert power over her. Don't do that.
Okay.
I want you to flip it around because that's you standing tall. I want you to actually take a seat on a park bench and put your face in your hands and sob because my daughter doesn't want to come home. Not making it like one day you're going to miss me. No.
I genuinely didn't see it that way.
I know. But like this, yes, you're correct. One day she's going to wish she had talked to her mom. I think you're right. But that's not the way to come at her.
Okay.
It's to say, I miss my baby girl. And clearly I've done something. I've said something. I was away. And I don't know what it is. I've tried. I've asked everybody I know. I've called everyone I know. And I'll respect you. Just know that you can always come home. And that's what I would. There's talking to your other kids, her siblings, about. Well, do you know what's wrong with her? Why is she so mad at me? That's one way to go about it. The other way to go about it is, hey, I'm putting you in an awkward position. I can't sleep. I can't breathe. My stomach hurts all the time. It's like the 99 and 1 sheep. I just want to bring my baby home. I just want to tell her I love her. And I've done something and I don't know what it is. One is very much a power of, like, a position of power, and one is one of great humility. If any of y'all know anything, please tell me. I'm drowning over here. And do you get the difference in posture?
I do.
Okay. Do you ever wonder if you start really crying on this thing, if you'll ever be able to stop?
Oh, yeah.
I think you have to go there.
I have been.
Okay. You sound tough to me.
Well, there's a lot going on right now that's not this.
Okay.
I'll just say that.
That's fair.
But I have been there a half dozen times at least since this started.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to get some hate on this call, and that's fine. The culture doesn't get a vote into my family's life, and the culture can be nonsensical and insane sometimes. And yes, adults have a full right to not contact their parents, to not talk to them, especially in abusive situations. No question about it, and I'll support you to the end of your...
And I wouldn't argue with that at all.
Of course.
That's absolutely appropriate.
And adults have permission, have the right to... They're adults. They can just say, I don't ever want to talk to you again. Don't call me, don't talk to me, whatever. We're done. Cool. You have a right to do that. And until you file a legal briefing on me, I'm going to send you a letter once a month letting you know I'm still thinking about you. There's still a hole in my heart because I miss my kid, and you can come home any time. You can come home anytime, and I'll meet you out in the parking lot. I'll come running to get you. I think we've got this weird impasse that's happened, and culturally, that if you're uncomfortable or you're not happy or somebody's not 100% in alignment with you, that means you got to end everything. My buddy Ian Simpkins said the other day, unity doesn't require uniformity. And I think that's right. So yeah, as for me and my house, my kids are going to know I'll come to the ends of the earth for you and beyond. And if that's culturally not cool, then so be it. Then so be it. And if I have things I have to apologize for, which God knows I do, I'll be the first to take a knee and apologize. But that doesn't give parents the right to not be pretty critical, not look in the mirror and really be honest about what you might have brought to this situation. It's real easy for parents just to bomb their adult kids. And I think it's fair to do a lot of self-reflection when somebody that you love says, I don't want to be in a relationship with you.